Yo, what's going on, y'all? It's your boy TJ Blaze here, and I'm about to do another reaction thing. And what I'm about to react to is some more coverage about Anton Daniels because Anton Daniels pulled up on Illosophical podcast or show to talk about what actually went down. So, as for Illosophical, his title is Unpacking the Cap. So, we about to see what Anton unpacked as was facts or was cap. And I've been hearing it's been some talk that been a lot of shit talking. So I just went to mainly what it is. So like, comment, and share. Most importantly, subscribe. We're gonna get right into the video.
Let me say salute to the panel, salute to Illasophical. I know we had our differences in the
Yeah, y'all
past,
definitely did.
but
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
I
And I'm
respect.
gonna say this. I'm gonna say this before we get started. I My issue with you, bro, is not success. It's not the fact that you have subscribers. Get your money. My issue is you come off as someone who's trying to talk to black men, but at the same time, or talk to black people or respond to black culture, but at the same time you shit on black culture, but you still try to carry the aesthetic that you know that's going to attract the same demographic that you're really trying to reprimand. If that's how it come off to me. Like I heard, like when we was on the panel, the thing that stood out to me the most, beside this, because I reached out to you after that, but you never responded. So
No, I don't remember you reaching out to me after.
I did. I sent you an email and you never
Well,
responded. And I
he's
said,
telling
yo,
you,
I
Anton.
get
He's
thousands of
telling you. He's
emails
telling you.
every.
I bet I'm not. But you responded to the first one, but you never responded to the second. Because he was like, yo, we could talk, we could work it out. And I said, yo, but I want to have a conversation first. And I never got a response. But that's neither here nor there. But I'm saying this. When you get on these shows, the main thing that stood out to me that day when I caught up on your show, you said, fuck Malcolm X, bro. And it wasn't even about, I was of course offended that you said that, but my issue is nobody else was. And I think that you saying stuff like
That was
that
wild.
and people not responding and having no smoke and all they could.
So something he's talking about, I think it happened like probably like 2-3 years ago, something like that. Because it's two people on here that Anton went back and forth with. He went back and forth with Osophical and Mr. Fantastic. Because a lot of times they used to have like they shows, and I think it was Fight Night when Anton used to host, and that whole thing changed. It used to be a lot of chaos because and they feelings get emotional, all this other shit. But let's continue.
See it, the fact that I cut this man off, but they had no smoke or no issues for you saying that, to me was bothering me. And to me, I'm seeing a trend of people just feeling like just shitting on black people all together is something we need to do. Like we can call out the bad elements without throwing out the baby with the bathwater. Because you say fuck black culture, you say that, but then when you go live, you got black culture aesthetics all around you, bro. Like you got Chronic behind you. That's a black street nigga album. For lack of a better term, you got this one, you got that one. So it's like you're trying to appeal to the aesthetic of black people, but then at the same time you want to smack them down. It's like I think you're sending mixed messages, and I feel like somebody that has your influence can do better than that. But that's my opinion, and that's what I want to talk about today. But the floor is yours. You can respond.
Well,
First, before Anton say anything, and I'm not gonna keep trying so much, but it's the fact that I have to give talking points behind certain things. Now, what Ilsophical saying, I understand because it's sometimes when you look at Anton, it seems wishy washy. It seems like he is against our people, for the blacks out there and everything. And it's the fact that a lot of people gonna think that he's pandering to the white man, right? So that's why a lot of people don't respect Anton. There's a lot of people that's in the comments or that's on his channel actually trying to say, yo, I don't like this dude. So there's a lot of people that are rage baiting or they really, really don't like this man at all. But at the end of the day, as much as you give him hate, it's not really affecting him. It's just giving him more value, giving him more numbers and a better audience. So Anton knows what he's doing because he's using the way of the internet. That's how it goes. He's a to gravitate the audience, and he's going to keep doing that no matter what. Just like with this whole argument that whole dispute between him and Corey, he know that was going to give them numbers. And I feel like, as to me, when I'm really looking at it with the plan, like when I said in my other video, I'm like, you know what he's doing, and it was smart. For it being a business move, it was smart. But if it went to that fight, it would kind of ruin business. But I feel like it would ruin business more on Corey end rather than Anton. So I'm looking at it as funny, but let's get back to the video because Anton about to speak.
First of all, I wanted to say respect to the platform, and the reason that I'm coming up here is because I support all creators, regardless of whether I agree with them or not. Right? So I could disagree with you, but it doesn't mean that I don't want you to win. Right? So
Makes sense.
let me start there by saying respect to the. That's why I'm here. The second thing is to answer you directly. I do think that you need to throw the culture away because what I define as the culture, because I think it's a difference between Black people and Black culture, right? What we push as Black culture is the things that we celebrate the most. And definitively, most of the time, that is the worst things for us.
That's
We
true.
pedestalize, we celebrate it, we don't want to call it out. But then when somebody finally says something about it, then they become the big bad wolf. And so I don't celebrate the majority of what we as a culture like to champion is best for us. It has destroyed our households, it has destroyed our communities, and it's 10 times worse than it's ever been at any point in history. So I stand on that. I haven't changed on
Valid
that,
points
on
behind
that
it.
at all. I think
I
it
agree with
needs,
that too.
I believe that,
Yeah.
that it needs to be a completely different culture, right? We jail culture, and then we down people that actually go to school every day and we call them lames.
But Anton,
We push the worst things for ourselves, but then at the same time, you know how many people wanted to see me lose at Corey's platform? You know how many people wanted to see me lose?
but why, Anton? Why they want to see you lose?
Because I represent something that they are not used to seeing winning.
But that's not true, Anton. That's
It's
not why
very,
everybody want.
very
That's
true.
maybe why some of them do it. But
No, that's
everybody
why
didn't want to see you
most
lose
people
because
do
of
it.
that, bro.
That's why most people do it. If I was up here,
Okay, I'm gonna pause it and say what I gotta say because he said a lot that makes sense. There's a lot of people in this damn world that acting like they can't agree to disagree and just go, go their separate ways about it. Or it could be something that you could learn based off that person's opinion to be like why they think like that. Because everybody have different point of views, like how we see the conservatives, the leftists, and all the other stuff, and everybody got different views, which really do separate people, and bring in unity and stuff like that. And what else? It's always gonna be a division. It's always gonna be a divide because of people point of views at times. But sometimes people could agree to agree or disagree. It's not that hard. But it's like people want to fight you based off their opinion. But I'm not gonna fight somebody based off facts. And sometimes even people when they fight over facts, it's just stupid. Sometimes it could be a win-win, it could be a win-lose for the oddest reasons. But you could just agree to disagree. That's all I'm gonna say again. And also another thing about like with the culture, yeah, a lot of they feed off negativity. So I get where Anton is going, but beyond that, there's a lot of people that just want to go based off the negatives, and the negative is victimizing themselves to feel like we still in those times. Like our ancestors was in those times. We wasn't in those times. So we can't make it seem like we would know everything. Even though today this is modern day slavery, but we're not in those times. Man, a lot of people don't want to hear that because they're like, oh, this and that happened. We know what they did. They know what they did. It's a lot of time we don't want to discuss that because we got the freedom. So that's why people just trying to say, move on. We know that history kind of repeats itself, but it's not repeating as much as how it was before. But we know a lot of things are getting worse, and but that's a whole nother story.
we're talking about some of the worst we always do in our culture. I will be cool.
Anton, this
But
is why I
because,
gotta disagree
but
with you.
because I stand 10
I
toes
don't
down
think you
on
know
what I
what culture
stand
is.
on
This is why
because
I'm
of
gonna
what I
disagree with
stand
you,
on 10
Anton,
toes down
because
on what
This guy gonna say he don't know what culture is. Well, everybody got different definitions about culture and what they do and how they represent, our culture, black culture, and stuff like that. So that's why I'm like, it's so many different points, but sometimes some people can't correlate, they can't align with each other, and this is cause the division in our community because it's always somebody that's trying to be slick and sly or not educated enough. The intellect is not there, not up to par with some people, man.
I go through the same thing. I go through the same thing. Everybody in this space, I just got into it with Fatty because he was saying, you need to leave this space because you want to be righteous and all that. Because I be on panels talking about real shit. I be having interviews talking about stuff that's not messy. And I don't get that support when I do that. So I don't do that.
well,
I
then that
literally
means
was laughed at
you
by
need to learn
people
how
in
to
this
market
Yeah,
space.
yourself
Fatty
better.
be on some
You
BS.
need to
I
learn how to
mean,
market yourself better. That has nothing to do with
no, I'm not talking about, I'm not even talking about, bro. I ain't even talking about numbers. I'm just talking about people rather see arguments than information. Now, if you want to say, hey, it's a better way to prevent your information, I'm always open to a suggestion. But what I'm saying is I've been on panels with just all men, bro, and they laughed at me because I said things like, they said, what's your solution, Illa? I said, I think the children is the solution. I think the children is a viable solution because we can't fix old dogs, but we can
Mm-hmm.
re-engineer and
I agree
reteach.
with that.
But
Mm-hmm.
this is the thing. This
Mm-hmm.
space laughed at me. I was on panels with dudes
But
and I was bringing out books about history, about culture.
to me is that I don't give a fuck about what people think about me.
No, I'm just giving you an example of how that right there. I don't give a fuck me. That's why I do what I do. But
No,
I'm
well,
just
you
giving you an
started
example
off
of
by
that right
saying that
that you have. I have that right.
I'm gonna pause it one more time. There's a point when you have a reaction, you do care. I understand how they trying to word it and how they trying to think about it, but it's always gonna be that little thing that caused that reaction for you to care about it and then move on. But then there's sometimes when if you still talk about the same thing after a few days or whatever, it's just like you didn't move on from that. Then it did affect you, it did bother you. But some people don't see it that way, and then some people that can really see it. So I'm gonna just leave it like that.
Well, but that doesn't excuse. That doesn't mean I'm not going to still speak to these people with love. Like it's still some love and empathy in me trying to relate. Everybody is not what we see on the computer. Everybody's not what we see on the street. We still got these people still got children, aunts and uncles and nieces and nephews.
and
So I
some
don't
people's
just speak the
lineage
message that just go ahead, go ahead.
some people's lineage need to die off. I don't need to support and rock out with people just because you're black. There's some people that are so degenerate and so bad for what it is that we stand for. And let's be clear, we're the only culture that forces all of us to support all of the bullshit, regardless
It
of what
look like
everybody
Picasso
does.
feels some way.
All white people don't fuck with white people. Asian people don't fuck with Asian people. They outcast them to certain cities. If you go over to Japan, if you go over to Tokyo, they got whole cities that's dedicated to motherfuckers that can't come outside, based off of the fact that they're not contributing to the culture and they're degenerate. But we're the only culture that we have to support it all just because I'm black. No, I don't.
No, I don't think we need to support all this bullshit. But we still have to give freedom.
But let me just say this. I think that what as far as ruling in love, I don't believe in that. I believe that sometimes you have to completely go in to destroy all of it. And I don't feel as though I have to make it right with people that have lived their whole lives to be destroyers. Some people are not good people for people, and I believe that I can destroy it all. I think when I go into a place, I'm not looking to be friends with these niggas. I don't need to have a conversation with everybody to make it cool. And let me be very clear. When me and
That's
Corey,
true.
because a lot of people say I came in with an agenda.
I thought you
Well,
did.
Corey called me and set the pace of what the agenda was going to be before I got there. I knew it was going to be smoke because he already told me that it was going to be smoke and that he had smoke for me. I knew he was going to disrespect me before he disrespected me.
Okay. As Anton did talk about this on his show, I think twice. He even talked about it. No, this is 3 times now. I think 3 times fully that he talked about it on the show after when it happened on his morning show, and he just talked about something again. But I feel like it was a lot because he said it so many times, and he covered that up, trying to covered everything about it, saying like, "Yo, this man was saying this and you saying that, and this what it was about." So he actually pointed it out again what the narrative was. So that's why I'm saying, like, now you could see this was about business because Corey wanted to do something. So Anton was on that time, and he's that basically showing that he had to match that energy, even though it's not necessary. It's not really needed. But if it's anything to bring entertainment, why not? And it sure damn worked. It definitely. So
Me because he had already led on. He didn't say directly, I'm going to disrespect you. He said, I got smoke for you, and it's not going, you know what I'm saying? It's not going to be one of them cool shows. So what do you think I'm going to do? You think I'm going to go in there like a deer in headlights?
I
Yeah, not
don't
gonna be
think he
blind.
really knew.
I'm
who he
asking a
was.
question.
I don't think he did.
Because
No,
everybody
if
keeps
that's
saying,
the case,
they
no.
make a big deal. They make a
If
big
that's the
deal when I
case,
say
no.
that I prepared and I studied for him. I
And-
think that the real travesty is that he wasn't prepared, but yet he invited me to his studio. I flew from Detroit to LA. And so you think that I'm supposed to be the B-side. I'm supposed to be the one that's going to lose. I wasn't prepared to lose.
And prior to you coming on the show, I kind of alluded to that because, quite frankly, like I told the brothers here, y'all both won because y'all basically have us talking about it, and in the internet space, that is exactly what it's designed for: is to have people talk. Whether they're talking negative or positive does not matter. The point is, we're sitting here talking about it. So I commend y'all both on that. But to my point that I made prior to that, neither one of y'all was sitting there y'all both were doing the same thing. When you pointed out the fact that
I met his energy, bro. I never got disrespectful until I got
Hey,
disrespectful.
you ain't being
You
honest. You
invited
came
him to
in,
the
hey,
sausage
Anton, you came
factory,
in being
Anton. You can't
condescending,
do
bro.
that.
Whoa. Okay. I'm gonna say this. It was a time in that interview, right, between him and Corey, that Anton was being slick. Like I said in my other video, he was being slick. And remember, and Corey was not paying attention to it, but he keeps saying, "I think you're talking shit." He keeps Corey keeps saying, "I think you're talking shit," and he had to keep thinking, like, if he really talking shit. And I'm looking, I'm like, he's technically talking shit. He is. He definitely is talking shit. But so and Anton point, he trying to say like nah, because he basically trying to refer that Corey. I'm about to say Curry. What the hell? But Corey is starting something. But I feel like y'all both started something, and people wanted to see the end result to see how it really will go. So that's why the people trying to shun and shame them based off their manhood to be like, look, y'all didn't do something, y'all didn't solve nothing, y'all was just chatting. It's just trying to make them seem like and all that stuff. Everybody talking their little bullshit behind it.
Bruh.
What did I say? Wait. What did I say that was condescending?
You came in to lose to his chat. You came in to lose to how tough his chat was, and that they not tough. That's
Yeah, because the
condescending.
whole chat, if you go back and watch the live, the whole chat was saying, "Oh, he gay, he gay, he gay, he gay, he gay."
But you just said you don't care what people say. You just said you don't care what people think, bro.
You did say that.
The first
Come on,
thing
bro.
that Anton
You
said
can't say
was
that I
he
was
was on
coming
time.
in and being disrespectful because I talked to the chat.
I said condescending. That's what I said.
Yeah,
Come
yeah,
on,
but
man.
again, bro, this is
Where
the
was I
content
being
creator part of it, bro. Yeah, y'all
Come on,
again,
fantastic.
well, no, you can't say all fantastic. Let me say this.
I do every single
Well, what
day
is that?
on every
Well, again,
single
it's-
live stream. On my own live streams, is I talk shit to the chat. I talk shit to my own chat every single day. That is not
Yeah, this
Let's
is
get
a
off the
part.
let's get off the chat.
I want to know. I want to know. I want to know.
Like one at a time, y'all. Anton here, so let's let him talk.
sound like-
He ain't
Yeah,
shit
let me-
pulled up.
The first thing
talking
that
this
Anton said
At
was
what
he
point
was on
I
time.
disrespectful to him?
How's that
Prior
disrespectful?
to being told.
No.
Prior to being told that I kissed white man's ass.
Not disrespectful. It was condescending. The on-time statement, the very first statement that Anton made was
I got
essentially-
invited to a show.
and he was late.
Wait. I got invited to a show. I flew 4.5 fucking hours from Detroit.
So what?
Wait, give me a second.
Okay, you're right.
I flew 4 hours from Detroit. I'm there on time. Gotta wait more than a half hour for you to even arrive. That's disrespectful in itself.
Yeah, on business,
What are you
business,
talking
and man,
about?
and everything. That's what I'm saying. How you gonna say
Y'all
whatever?
niggas is- y'all
You could
niggas is
discuss
so
that.
bad.
Okay. I'm gonna pause that. All right. Now, number, a lot of people won't know what happened behind if you cover that, right? And it was necessary because there's a lot of things that people do keep behind the scenes to not even discuss. So people won't, question everything. Like, was it real? Was it fake? And most of the times, that's going to happen naturally. That we're going to question it because it's ready to talk to the town, and it's going to die down now. It's going to die down after this. All people not going to give a shit at all. And for Anton to state that these are the particular reasons why, the dispute happened, why everything was getting, aggressive, getting verbally abused, extra stuff. So Anton's trying to say he got his reasons behind it that people don't know. And he actually was saying this on his show. He was actually saying this on his show. So people can know that he had other legitimate reasons to act a certain way, even though it was more into why it really started. So
Camera though. You could discuss that before the show started, bro. You could discuss that before the show started. If it's that big of a deal, bro, you could discuss that before the camera get rolling.
In fairness, hold on.
man,
Hold
you
on,
gotta
Talking
talk.
to Illa talking, man. Y'all gotta shut the hell up.
I
When
just
Illa
said
talking, y'all gotta shut the fuck up, bro.
all right.
Fellas.
Man.
Why do you think that? Why do you think?
And I'm gonna say this because I don't see. I keep pausing, but I gotta make my talking points. Now, as Anton being a guest, right? That knowing that this will help illasophical, and I know illasophical do his best to be the host. We can't tolerate this behavior because then that's when I'm like, yo, they gotta get muted because they doing too much. They trying to give you answers. Because y'all really was discussing. Anton came. They were just trying to unravel and unpack the cap for the philosophical video about this whole thing between Anton and Corey. Let this man talk. Let him have that floor as much as possible. Because that back and forth shit is crazy.
That he was complaining about the conversation that I had with Darlene for a long time before he even got there. You know why I was able to do that? Is because he wasn't there.
Yeah, he was late.
The reason why I was able to have so much conversation
Look
and
at the
get
dude
toured the
Picasso,
whole
bro.
facility and find out who owned it and learn all about what it is that's going on and see how his production team worked and kick it with Darlene and get every single piece of information is because he wasn't there. That's not
Operate
my
like a
fault.
nigga.
That's the you fault.
So what are you trying to expose by doing that?
No, I said, what did I do that was disrespectful prior to being told?
Before
I
we
kissed
got to
white
the
man's
disrespectful part, we asked about the condescending. The first thing that they said was the chat. But
By me
the
saying
first,
that I was on time?
hold on, Anton.
I'm
The
sorry.
very
go ahead.
the condescending thing you did, the very first thing you said was condescending, which was I was on time, which was something you could have discussed afterwards. But you came there with the identity that you were gonna win something.
That's unfair.
Listen.
So-
He told me.
Listen to what I'm. He already
You can ask
explained
him,
what he was
you can
trying to
ask him.
do.
He
already-
told me on the phone he wanted this to be an explosive, volatile, and he wanted this to be emotional. He told me, listen, this is the honest to God truth on my
Can you
part.
prove that?
No. Listen to what I'm
let him
about
talk.
to
Let him
say.
talk, y'all. Let him
You don't
talk.
have to prove it.
No,
You
you're
can
right,
ask him.
Anton.
Wait, listen to what I'm about to say.
Yeah.
One of the things that he told me when I first got on the call is, I hope you don't record phone calls. I said, why? I said, what is that? I said, I don't record no phone calls. I said, you ain't never seen me drop no receipts on nobody phone calls. He said, because, I want to set the stage of how. First thing he started to do is he started to talk about all of the niggas that he didn't like. I'm not going to say that out loud because that ain't got nothing.
Yeah, that ain't
Anton, you did say it
Second
out
thing
loud.
that he said was what he wanted the show to be like. He knew it was going to be volatile. He knew it was going to be problems. He didn't want me to agree with him. And he wanted it to actually be some real fireworks in there.
Okay. That's fine.
Let me talk.
Okay.
If you set the stage for how you want it to go, it's your show, it's your studio, it's your production team. You say you want me to be there. I got the text messages from Phil of exactly the time that I had to be there. I'm sitting there waiting, all of this stuff. Why are y'all making so many excuses for a grown man not being able to meet the expectation?
Exactly. Let me ask this question. Oh, let me ask this question. Let me ask this question.
Monster, let me jump in real quick. I'm gonna say this.
Good at.
I want to be petty because we can get to the meat of the shit. If that's the case, out of fairness, I'm not. Nobody can say I'm unfair. We already know our history is well documented. If Corey was late and he told you that on the phone, you just saying I was on time is minor. In my opinion, in that instance, that's small. We should just move on. That's what happened behind the scenes.
Okay. Cause it's just so much. Like I don't really trying to get into this stuff, but I'm here talking about it now. As much as that rant was going on, right? Because it was a full blown rant with Anton from the night it happened, right? The night it transpired into his show. He even talked to Angry Man, still trying to bash Corey and talking shit. So you know how people are when they somebody bothers or something, now it gets to a whole disliking or whatever. Start talking shit. He was trying to say that people are scared. He's scared of people in his own city. He trying to say, telling Corey that, telling Angry Man that Corey is scared of people in his own city, in Chicago and stuff like that. He's just trying to bash him, man. Because even Corey did that after when Anton left. But I don't think Corey ever talked about it since that time it transpired. So I feel like Anton just wanted to get more coverage, and get more views. Because this man know the internet. That's how people would have to see it. But as being a man, you don't want to keep talking about that shit. You would let it be. Because if y'all didn't squabble, y'all didn't fight, there's no need to keep talking. Just let that man breathe. You got your numbers up. He got his numbers up. Y'all still gonna get your money. That's okay. Y'all gonna give other people views, and that's okay. And Anton admit to that. Like he just know that he's gonna make things up. That's it. Make things run up, get your money, mind your business as you normally do. That's it. Keep it pushing. So it just looked bad for somebody to keep talking, but it's the fact that he's talking to get the audience. To get the audience. That's all.
And all you said was you was late. I think that's like it's null and void at that point, that aspect. But it's a lot to unpack in this conversation.
It's a lot.
I have a question.
Hey, wait. Here's the real question, because see, y'all only talking about how I responded. What did I do to warrant a nigga saying to me that I kiss white men's ass?
Well, you kept avoiding the question. Hold on, let me make this statement.
Go ahead, Boss.
I got a statement to make because I gotta run in a little bit. But when I first got on, I specifically said you can't police someone's response to disrespect. I said that. So whatever someone says or does that triggers you in a way that's disrespectful, they don't have a right to determine how you respond to their disrespect. But
I agree.
But what I wanted to say though, my question for you, Anton, is this. You spoke about how certain aspects of Black culture is toxic, how it needs to die, and I understand
the majority of what it is yes.
For sure. And you don't really care about, what people think, so on and so forth. However, I must say, do you think the display that you both had is a good image and positive
Absolutely.
and
100%.
beneficial to the image of black men based on what's already said about the levels of ignorance or toxicity that people say we display. Wouldn't that be a part of the negative elements of black culture that you are against?
No, absolutely not.
Could you explain?
Is because I believe that people need to understand that and the nerd, because I champion myself as being a nerd, that it's cooler to be the nerd than it is to be the guy that he is.
Look at Picasso, man.
Okay, so what about
I believe the message that people receive is that the bully get bullied when they don't have themselves ready and prepared intellectually, and it shows that the leaders and the people that we follow is trash. And so I don't give a fuck about what other people think about me. As far as like outsiders, what people would say is the image of black people. The only thing I care about is how am I affecting other people as far as changing the narrative of what we should be and how we should be as far as what we champion is the best thing for the culture. That's the only thing I care about. I don't give a fuck about what nobody else thinks.
So do you think that was a good display? Do you think that was a good display of what black culture, two black men, mandingo fighting, using profanity against each other, cursing each other out? You know, do you think that was a good display of what black masculinity should be, as opposed to, because to me it seemed like that's the same thing. That's already. Hold on, let me finish. Let me. But what was intellectual about that? Because to me, the display was very similar to what we see on Zeus Network or any other black media-based show in terms of the dialogue being toxic, disrespectful to one another. Because my position is that you both took L's in that regard. You know, I understand you had an agenda, he had an agenda, but to me, it just wasn't a good look. I understand you don't care, but not caring still doesn't speak to the fact of what needs to change in black culture as far as the nonsense and the toxicity. And I think that was a further display of that.
I think you need to go back and study the tape.
But even more importantly,
what I took from it is it was intellectual until it wasn't. It was a conversation until one person couldn't substantiate their argument, and then they started to throw insults. But see, what I believe is awesome about the whole situation is that this isn't a black thing. This isn't just a white thing. This isn't anything. This is a man thing. And when somebody call you an insult, I don't think it's a bad thing to stand up for yourself. Care like they're gonna do something. I don't think it's a bad thing for you to stand up for yourself. So I met energy. It was an intellectual conversation until it wasn't. And when somebody got frustrated, they called you out your name. And instead of me saying, well, you know what? I'm gonna turn the other cheek. I decided not to.
Pause it. Yo. And this is one of the actual issues, right? When it comes to like the black community, because it's everybody that just want to be impulsive. Everybody want to have reaction just to fight and think that they got to swing. But they don't like, oh, yo, you gonna let the person talk to you like that? You let the person, punk you, whatever they're gonna try to use, whatever word they want to use. And I'm like, not everything resolves to violence, but when it's really necessary, it will be necessary. And I'm talking about like a real beyond threat. Like somebody got a gun to you, you gotta do what you gotta do after that. But when it comes to somebody talking, I could laugh about that shit and walk away. So that's how everybody's trying to look at it, like, oh, that man was right there in your face. But Anton keep telling him, they go out back. He said it a few times. I don't gotta repeat something that you heard. If you heard me say it the first time, why do I need to say it again? So it could be, like a fuel the fire. But that's what people were trying to say. Oh, you can say it again if you was tough. So they're thinking that you have to say it again for you to be tough. I'm saying it one time. You gotta hear me say it again because you already reacting away, and you can see the reaction the whole time. Say suck dick again, all that other shit. Like you heard it, so we know why he's reacting. Why say it again? And then remember, Anton keeps saying he wasn't going to do nothing. And it kind of proved a lot that he really wasn't going to do nothing. But I could see that in Corey, that adrenaline was kicking in. When him shaking with the mic and stuff like that, it was there. It was already those obvious signs. Anton was calm, but he knew that the energy was there, but just still trying to shame, like, well, not gonna be shame. I'm not gonna say shame, but still just like, oh, you're not gonna do that. If you will do something. So that's what he's trying to say based off the fact that he was moving the chair, going to other chairs, trying to talk in his face, because right there he could have came to his face, punched him or slapped him, whatever the fuck he wanted to do. You know what I'm saying? Like if somebody wanted to really hit you that bad, they would hit you right there when you even got your guard up. Cause I won't be, for me honestly, I won't be sitting down if somebody threatening me. I won't be sitting down. I'll be standing up, having my guard up. Cause you gotta be on guard for stuff like that. So for him sitting down there, Anton sitting in a seat comfortably, shows you a lot, but people won't point that out.
Hold on, bro. Hold on. Hey, bro, I ain't saying shit the whole
I just want to
time.
respond.
We gotta do one at a time, y'all.
He was talking to me though.
Yo, we got it, fellas.
They just chatting.
We gotta do one at a time. He's here. He showed up. To my surprise, because I thought this was way too small for you, but you pulled up. So respect. So let's talk respectfully. We're not trying to have a Corey versus Anton part 2 or Illa versus Anton part 2. We just talking about what we agree with and we don't, but we gotta be in our proper body and go one at a time. So the floor is gonna go to Picasso and then Fantastic. All right.
I only got like a half hour because I got to get ready.
No, you ain't. I got you.
Like, all right, cool.
Okay, so you just said you came in and you matched energy. I want to challenge you. You didn't match the final energy. I believe you saved yourself through optics by looking like you matched energy.
How do you know?
Because you didn't say it again.
I said it 3 times.
He was in your face.
You want me to put a pen on my shoulder and say,
Anton, this is the part that everybody missed. When he got in your face, he took time. He said, do you want to go there? I don't know all the verbatim, right? But when he put that mic down, he said, say it again. Since you wanted to say, since you wanted to provoke that level of energy, you should have said it again since you wanted to match that energy. Going outside is not matching that energy. Saying it again is matching that enery, Anton. And that's what real men do.
Listen, bro.
If a man, hold on. Anton, let me finish my part. You only got 30 minutes. You only got 30 minutes. Look, if somebody comes to you in your face and said, hey, you said some shit from over there, but I'm in your face and I don't want to tear my shit up and I don't want to derail my brand. No. But guess what? A man gives another man a chance if he really want to, because sucking the dick of black people is popping some shit off. But he came to your face and he said, say it again, brother. Say it again.
Jesus Christ.
So you gonna give me a chance to respond, or you just want to get it out?
Bro. You ain't
just matching energy until he wasn't.
Hey, fantastic. Chill out. Go ahead, Anton.
You telling me to chill out, nigga? I'm the only one that ain't
Hold on. Chill out. We ain't gotta argue. Here's the thing. Here's where I'm from. It may be a little bit different than where you're from. We don't.
Real quick. My last time actually pausing it. See, and I can respect what Mr. Fantastic was trying to say, because he's like, yo, bro, you gonna really be hot headed. Like, it's really sometimes there's no need for that, and I was just explaining it, so I just had to say that.
I'm from, we don't have to go up to a person and say, we don't need nobody to put a battery in our back to do whatever it is that we feel. If we feel disrespected, we disrespected. So it's either you're gonna do something or the key. I'm not there to fight. I'm not there to be a tough guy.
But you were. You provoked something.
You gonna let me finish?
Yeah, let him talk. Please let him talk.
You gonna let me finish? I'm not there to be the tough guy. I'm also not there to fuck up your platform. Because the one thing that we know for sure, and the two things is for certain, is YouTube do not fuck around when people fight. Okay. They don't fuck around with porn, and they don't fuck around with fighting. They will demonetize you, they will remove you, and your platform will be completely gone. That's just the facts. So what I told him is that, listen, I'm going to respect your platform. That's what I said, word for word. I said, I'm going to respect your platform.
He did say that multiple times.
In the midst of all, when he said it again, I said, nah. Listen, I said, man, I don't give a fuck about none of that shit. You ain't tough. I don't think you're going to do nothing, but I'm going to respect your platform. That's what I said out of my mouth verbatim. Okay, and I said, all right, listen, the minute, listen, go and watch the thing. The minute that he put the microphone down, I said, because apparently to me, that means it ain't no more talking. All right, well, we can go outside with this shit.
Oh, man, come on.
That's exactly.
Let him speak his piece. Fantastic jump in there, and then I want to talk to you before you leave.
Let me go out to Fantastic. Yeah, bro. Come on, bro.
Right.
So
Fantastic, go ahead.
Yeah, so first and foremost, y'all are only assessing this in the moment. This is Corey's brand, okay? Corey disrespects black people all the time, specifically black people 99% of the time, okay? Yeah. So if and when he goes there and Anton's giving you some behind-the-scenes shit where he said, hey, bro, hey, it's going to be smoke, it's going to be whatever. And again, he's going there with content. It's not Anton. We already said this. Anton is away. He don't have no home court advantage. He's in the belly of the beast. He's in the fucking lion's den. And then you start saying some wild shit. That's true. The whole point of Corey, y'all saying Corey won or no, Corey didn't win anything. Corey's whole point was to punk Anton from Joe. He's the pudgy internet nigga. It's not tough. So he gonna say some shit. I'm gonna take it there because I know it can't defeat him intellectually. Y'all keep talking about the intellect or lack the intellect. He missed what Anton said several times just from the political thing. He said, hey man, local elections. He kept talking about national. Corey doesn't even have a fundamental understanding of politics, bro. So again, this is where Anton is right in the point of where the comedians and the athletes and the people that don't know shit about the shit niggas need to care about are the people that speak for and represent everybody, bro. Okay?
Can I ask y'all a question?
Let me do this real quick, bro, because like I said, I ain't saying shit. Everybody hasn't got their shit in. Now, Anton, the provoking part, right? Cool, fine. Where I'm from, Anton, where most niggas from, niggas don't get in your face like that. Okay, you again, where the man shit, we gonna talk about man shit. You should have never allowed yourself to be in a position where a man is standing over you, domineering over you, sit down in front of you, and then wave his hand and do all this fucking Tony Ayo shit, whatever. Now, I think you did fucking do the best thing. Opportunity presented itself to create space and distance and get up and whatnot, what have you. But at the end of the day, neither one of y'all wanted to fight, bro. You didn't want to fight. Corey's fucking 58 years old. You're not trying to fight. And again, at the end of the day, it worked out for the best part for you because you're the full-time content creator. Exactly. Corey does a fucking podcast one time a week.
Exactly.
In life, in every situation.
Oh, here we go.
In every, what do you mean here? What are you talking about, bro?
Just finish. Go ahead,
brother. Because I can sense when people already is a fan of maybe Corey Holcomb, or they're unable to make an objective. They're unable to make.
I'm pulling. Because I already seen that as well. Picasso been on some bullshit the whole time. He's not liking the interaction or Anton explanation behind things because he's just thinking that he's just talking. He's just thinking he's doing word salad. So he just want to get and trying to prove his point that Anton's a punk or whatever. And I like what Miss Fantastic was saying because he had to point out some narratives behind it, give Anton his credit, and the same thing I was saying before. And also the other thing that he pointed out about when Corey was standing over him. Yeah, I'm not allowing that shit. Definitely not. I'm gonna be in your face. But then that's when they go to show that, like, nigga, I'm matching your energy. Can't let somebody be over you. Definitely not.
Make an objective assessment, right? True. And that's when they start to reply before I even say what I'm gonna say. You gotta let me finish, right? In life, in no fight that I've ever had in my entire life, elementary school, middle school, high school, brothers, nephews, uncles, I've never wanted to fight. I don't know many people that want to get into a confrontation just off of GP. It doesn't mean that I'm not going to do what I got to do if I got to do it. That's the whole point. Everybody keeps saying, man, you didn't want to scrap. I know, nigga, I came up there for a conversation. Of course I didn't want to scrap. That wasn't the goal.
So can I ask the question real quick?
Hold on. Let me respond.
That's crazy.
So this is, like I said, and this is my problem. This is my issue.
It wasn't even, listen, it wasn't even about winning or losing.
Absolutely not. I agree.
It's not about winning or losing. I done lost, I done won. It's not about winning or losing. It's about, listen, if you really about that life, because I never asked to switch chairs. I never went up to him and got in his face. If this is what you about, then let's really find out.
You was talking greasy short shit.
The thing that niggas ain't having a conversation about is when I stood up, he sat down.
Yeah, but he said, get your bitch ass out of here. You and your bitch. Like, I don't even want to keep talking about that part.
That's the end. That's the way.
Yeah, that's the end. But I'm saying, he said in your face, but this is my issue, Anton. This
split up the run.
My issue, my point is this. It's a way to do.
Who said I stood up the run? Who said
I did. You, the one right next to you, you stood up the run.
Yeah. Bro, let me say
you were
this.
escaping.
I'm gonna say this.
He's an escape artist.
Right back down. Yeah. I don't believe that the overwhelming majority of you niggas that comment on this shit really would throw hands in real life.
I would. With you.
Listen. It's a lot of Monday morning quarterbacks.
Oh,
I don't believe that I have never in my life.
What's that belief based on?
I had millions of people that agree with me and disagree with me. I have never seen not one of you niggas ever say
stop talking tough, Anton.
Hold on, wait. Let me say y'all talking about me. So let me get my shit off because ain't nobody coming to hear about you. Ooh. I have never ran into any one of you niggas in real life and ever heard none of y'all say that y'all had a problem and that y'all wanted to throw hands. So let's be clear. Stop that tough guy.
You can't run.
Everybody stop that tough guy shit, bro. Stop the tough guy shit.
Well,
you would never even be able to get close to me. So that's not even a conversation. Don't tell me what you would have did.
You're funny, man.
Don't tell me what you would have did. You would never do no shit in real life. We not going with that shit. Stop the
funny. You wouldn't say you my dick in my face.
Well, I wanted to go ahead, Ella. You got it. You got it, Ella. No, come on, bro. Come on.
What I'm gonna say is this.
We're going to have
Picasso, I got you, but that's a waste of time.
It's only a couple niggas on here that I believe with those words. If we gonna have a conversation and y'all want to talk about what's fruitful for the community, why are we? Because that people want to hear that shit. We are talking 95% of the time on what I would do if I wanted to. Y'all had an opportunity to ask me any fucking question that y'all want to. And that's how I know that the community is degenerate. That y'all don't really want a solution.
Anton, hold on, y'all. Anton, what did I say?
Illasophical and the other guy is the only ones that brought up anything that was relevant as far as how it is that we can progress the community. Y'all are more interested in talking about who woulda, coulda, shoulda on the scrap.
No. With that being said, let me respond. That's my thing. Because I'm not no super tough guy, but if we was around each other when that shit happened, bro, it would have went left. But that was 3 years ago.
Probably.
That's 3 years ago.
I think that you and maybe Mr. Fantastic tops.
But when it comes, but my issue with
that's disrespectful right there.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? That's disrespectful right there. Hey, bro. You don't know nobody else.
All this shit, man. And Anton was just proving that. This shit is proving his point. He like, see, y'all niggas just want to get belligerent, ignorant, and just want to fight. Y'all want to get impulsive. Like, calm down, calm your temperature. And be civil. Work on your temperament. Because sometimes a lot of people don't work on their temperament. And this is why you get into these damn disputes, these squabbles, or shit, death. It shouldn't get to that because people don't know how to have verbal conversations. People don't know how to articulate themselves. It's crazy. I get tired of seeing that shit when I'm in the hood and stuff like that. It's annoying. When you work on a certain way, you know, with your grammar, your intellect, and everything, it can solve a lot of things. But a lot of people not into that talking. They think they just gotta go based off street cred and fighting all the damn time. They can killing somebody solve something unless someone kill somebody on your end for like gang or family, and then they can be like, oh, that person was good. Nah. Because that person was actually probably good. They wasn't in the streets, But y'all ain't like that person wasn't in the streets with y'all. That person wasn't in the crew with y'all. Y'all get mad when people not doing the same thing y'all doing. So nobody want to hear that shit. And this again prove Anton point.
He's great.
Honestly,
he's great.
Love, let Ella rock. Let
This
Ella
is
rock.
greatness in
in
his
order
form.
for you to grow in this space, I'm talking about on some content creation shit. You got to get control of the emotions of the men that you have on your panel. Because they don't even know how to
respectfully, Anton, I see a lot worse.
Didn't you run Fight Club?
Than I see on my shit, bro.
You just
I don't
made
be
a
having no big ass.
assumption.
Hold on, please, everybody, please stop talking. I'm talking to Anton right now, please. I don't have no wild ass dust ups on my show, bro. It's gonna be some.
I'm talking about you got an opportunity to clip this shit up and get a lot of views and all of that. And they want to be the main character instead of ask their questions.
See, look, man, fantastic shit.
I'm talking purely on content. Purely on some content.
He's been on a lot of podcasts and shows and stuff like that.
And that's my problem, Anton. I'm not all the way into that mindset. Because my thing is, not saying you wrong, but my thing is, I try to have organic conversations, not just online conversations. And in real life, things get testy. In real life, sometimes I just don't let nobody get disrespected. I'm not letting nobody get called a bitch or a hoe. If you watch, I'm sure you don't watch my channel.
So listen, I watch everything, bro.
Well, you should know I don't do that. I don't have no type of
right here, right now.
You said what?
I'm talking about in this conversation right now. If it's
just ask the question.
When people come on my platform, let's say Myron, some people don't like him, some people do like him. You know what we do? We shut up and we let him talk. We extend the grace because he's the person that is going to bring all of the views because of his he's the guest on a platform that people are not willing to that haven't been used to seeing on the platform.
So you a clout chaser.
We had no idea you was going. I feel you right. I had no idea.
Illasophical, I'm out. I'm out.
Look at this.
Listen, hey, illasophical.
Stop, let him talk.
It's them all. Oh, you're a clout chaser, bro. He knows the way of the internet. He just explained what it would do, what it does. So of course, something about that could be about clout. But Anton, I don't know why I'm about to say a whole different name, but Anton is letting people know how to get those numbers up. And this is what he's trying to tell illasophical, because it's like you have to work on that crowd control, right? And then also we could clip it, because right now, as me talking about it, this is already a clip, a whole viral moment. So it works out. And I think it would be better if he would actually talk to somebody one-on-one about this. So I think he want to give illasophical that favor, because these people ruin a whole moment when there probably could have been more details and good conversation, but these people don't know how to hold their mouth because they just want to be ignorant. That shit fucks up a lot.
Illasophical. Hit me up.
I want you to
email
hear
me
this.
illasophical.
Let him talk, Sean. Let him talk.
Illasophical. Email me. We'll do a one-on-one live stream together, and I'll answer any question that you want to answer. That way you can get the clips. That way you can get all of the anything that you want to get off, and we can have a conversation individual.
I respect that, and that's a bet. Don't. You gotta unblock me though.
What are you talking about? I ain't blocked you on
the gram, but it's all good. Just unblock
on the gram. No. Email me. I don't know who's blocked or what.
What's your email?
I don't even really run my Instagram. But email me. Just email me at antondaniels413@gmail.com. We'll chop it up.
antondaniels413@gmail.com.
Okay.
Yeah. I got you. Thank you for pulling up. I'm gonna hit you up very soon.
Anton, before you go, can I just make this point?
Yeah. What's up, Sean?
You made very valid points, and I come from the background of the entertainment industry, and that's why I look at all of this as entertainment, and that's what I shared that you guys did, and you did it successfully. And the points of views that you made today were valid.
Yes, they were valid.
They were very valid. And even the last point that you made with Ella in reference to being able to grow in this space. So all I was going to say is that whereas the exploitation of the behaviors that we often see on the internet is beneficial and can grow your platforms. But to Matt's point, does that help us collectively in our communities?
Yes.
In other words, Anton, this is my plan. I'm trying to find a middle ground between objectivity and calling out problems, but still respecting the humanity in each other. And I think sometimes we go too far where we can't find that balance. We either it comes off as we just kissing each other's ass or just totally disrespecting each other.
Hey,
my platform is trying to, but if you say let's talk about it, we could talk about it when I hit you up.
I think that it's a time for everything. I think it's a time to be intellectual. I think it's a time to debate, and I think it's a time to get move the chairs a little bit.
I can't.
I just want to ask Anton Daniels, why didn't he respond to Corey's question? That was intellectual. Why I had the world class right next to you on your? I think it would be your right.
Are you the dude that said you fight me?
No, I wouldn't. No. I don't know what you're talking about. The nigga asked you, why don't you address white males? Why come you don't address white males the same way you address black males? That's what his question was. That's where it went left. He asked you twice, as I guess he got that from the conversation.
Right, and I said that I do. I said I'm an equal account.
But he literally asked you what when you didn't.
Yeah, Anton do that, but a lot of people see
because
it more
what
that
was happening was Corey was jumping from point to point every time I made a point. When we talked about local voting, he overtalked. We talked about the transatlantic slave trade. He moved another point, and then he moved over to white men. So Corey wasn't trying to have a conversation at that point, and that's why I said, slow down, because you're talking loud, but you're not saying anything. And then I proceeded to say, I'm an equal accountability smoke giver, and I talk about everybody. And if you go to my platform, I pulled it up yesterday on the Millionaire Morning Show. I got 692 videos on the Anton Daniels channel alone going in on white men. 692 videos on the Anton Daniels channel alone going in on white men. I go in on liberal white men mostly, right? I talk about white men. I talk about white women. I say that liberal white women is the worst thing that ever happened to the country. I talk about black women. I talk about black culture. I talk about everything.
And just real quick, right? Well, even importantly, hold on. Corey Holcomb brought up a white woman getting shot by ICE white people. Anton said, fuck the white lady. So I don't understand how you be like, oh, you didn't say nothing bad about white people.
I did a whole special week just dedicated to talking about the degeneracy of white people.
They just wasted time now.
I've never done a special week, and this was a year and a half ago.
But when you talk about black people, you don't.
When you talk about bringing up white people, and I had white men coming up to debate me, and I went off on white men specifically about their degeneracy, how they lose control of their household, how they was the first ones that started buying pussy overseas, the whole 9 yards. So when I said that you don't have the capacity because you're too busy, that means that you haven't watched all of my content, and I understand it because he his own man and he got a lot of shit going on also. But even people took that as an offensive.
But I'm gonna say, Anton, let me ask Anton a question. Hold on, bro. Please hold on. So what I'm gonna say is this, though, Anton. I think a lot of issues that you hate about the black community, they have a paper trail that lands at the feet of the white community. So a lot of times when we talk about these things, we only talk about them one-sided. They didn't just happen overnight. Our behavior was never the tipping point that triggered the way them treating us away. When we behaved at our best, they was hanging and lynching. And I know you said that don't have nothing to do with us, but it does. I didn't get lynched. I wasn't, obviously. But they did that to people who did behave well, who were going to church, who were Christian. So to make it seem like our behavior is the determining factor of how these people are misplacing us, that's just not true. Like when you said liberal white women are the bane of this country, I highly disagree with that. You know what I'm saying? I think behind a liberal woman, behind all of these movements is a European male, regardless of the optic.
You'd have to add the context. So when I say the liberal white woman, I'm speaking of in current times. In 2024, 25, 24. But
Anton, today is just a reflection of the past.
Here's the thing, illasophical. We could debate that.
Let's do it.
Okay. We could debate that. I'm cool with that. I'm willing to debate that all day long. But to say that I don't, it's one thing to say, Anton, you're wrong. It's another thing to say that I don't do it. You can have an
if you
opinion and say, you can have an opinion and say, man, I think you're wrong on this, I think you're wrong on that, and this is the context similar to what you just said, right? And that's debatable. But you can't say that I don't. Because if you in the middle of if you don't know, then that means that you're the ignorant one, not me.
But that's saying that somebody got to watch all your content.
Hey, Anton.
No, that's not saying that
One at a time,
It
y'all.
is.
One at a time.
It's not saying that somebody has to watch all my content. It's saying that it's saying that once I correct you, don't keep standing on it. Either go do the research or stand down because you're
I'm not holding Corey to the same standard. Where's Corey's outrage? Hold on, bro. Where's Corey's outrage and rage against the white man that he fucking expected Anton to have? He do the same shit.
This is why fantastic. Hey, Anton, let me ask you a quick question.
Let me ask this last question. When I do an interview, when I bring somebody on my platform, it doesn't matter if it's a Brittany Renner, Charleston White, who else have I had on there? Lamar Odom, fucking Brian McKnight, whatever. You know what I do before I bring them on the platform? I read their books, I study their stuff, I research their life, because I want to have a meaningful debate or conversation or interview. The onus is on the person that invited you to the platform to better understand where you are, what you represent, if you did this, if you didn't. The onus is not on the person that is coming to do the interview. Interview somebody, you're supposed to research them. Now, what I did as a person that was getting interviewed is I researched him. His responsibility is to familiarize himself and at least make himself knowledgeable, not walk in 30 minutes late, jump straight on the microphone, and just get to talking and thinking that it's going to be a conducive conversation.
Cool.
That's not even smart.
Agreed. But was your conversation about y'all history and content, but was your conversation about what was happening in real time?
No, why would you ask me questions
because I think
that is so blatantly, obviously false, instead of at the very least, at least have your team give you some talking points and say, okay, listen, ask this question, this is meaningful, ask them about this. At the very least, we don't even have to do a lot
lack
of
of preparedness.
We got ChatGPT, we got Gemini, we got AI. You don't even have to do a lot of research.
I don't think you would trust Gemini to articulate what your career is. Real quick, Sean.
Yeah,
I don't think.
I want to respond to Fantastic. Fantastic. You said Fantastic said we're not holding Corey to the same standard. This is why, because Corey is a comedian, and we hold Anton to the standard of an intellectual. We not holding Anton to the standard of a comedian. So those are two different perspectives. Once we put ourselves, hold on.
Let me go out.
I feel like once we put ourselves in these spaces where we're having conversation about relationships, politics, emotional intelligence, lack thereof, manhood, progress, that's an intellectual space.
No, illasophical. Nobody should invite anybody onto their platform. Cam Newton.
No, I'm not pushing back on that. I'm pushing back on Fantastic saying we're not holding Corey to the same standard. We're not. Corey is not an intellectual. We think Anton is an intellectual.
Yeah, right? I got you. So again, if he's preparing himself for intellectual conversation and debate, he should be prepared. And even though it may not be his thing, and I said this time and time again, he's the funny man. He's a fucking professional comedian and good at it. All right, no one's taking that away from him. But once you step into asking the intellectual questions, you can't then negate it and keep saying that he don't know what he's talking about when you're not adept.
Well, so the thing is, both of these, this platform is entertainment. So when we're speaking, they both are entertainers. And whether he's an intellectual direction or whether he's a comedic direction, they're on an entertaining platform. And they both need to prepare for the entertainment, prepare for the show. And if he didn't prepare for the show, you got to put it on him.
All right, so watch this. I hadn't.
My bad.
Go ahead, Trey.
You got my bad.
So Fantastic, just to be fair across the board, right? Because I don't know either of the other gentlemen personally. So if y'all listen, I'm talking about what came out of Corey Holker's mouth. When Anton left, he said, what I really wanted to talk about, he never specified what he wanted to talk about, but he made insinuations about somebody being a homosexual. I don't know if y'all caught that or not. So if that was no, that's what he that's what he said.
They said that.
So what I'm saying is that if that was what he wanted to communicate about, that's not a fruitful conversation. If we're gonna go based off what Anton wanted to communicate, Anton wanted to communicate about versus what Corey wanted to talk about. So that's not a fruitful conversation. Now, I just want to ask Anton directly because I remember seeing, and this is going by how the whole situation manifested. Because I think I seen a super chat that you sent him, a $500 super chat that said DM me, bro. Was that from you?
Yes, it was from me.
Okay, so you didn't know him prior to that show, right?
Personally, no. He
what I'm saying.
He reached out. We got some mutual acquaintances. For months, he had been reaching out around the time that MTR went on there, Reva went on there, Fawcett Media had went on there. He was saying that he kept saying for a few different shows that he wanted to have me on the platform.
That was stupid.
I didn't go on at the time that they went on because I said that I wanted to do it in person. So I went out to the West Coast and I was supposed to do No Jumper. Adam 22 got sick and he said that he wanted to reschedule. And so while I was still out there, what I like to do is I like to do all of the stuff at the same time. So while I was out in LA, I also was going to do Corey Holcomb. So I flew over to Vegas for a few days. And then I knew because the No Jumper thing was supposed to happen on Friday. So then I flew over to Vegas for 3 days. And then I flew back to Los Angeles on a Tuesday. So I reached out to him to expedite the process because when I finally got my schedule set up with No Jumper, you know what I'm saying? I didn't want him to look at the DM or to look at anything and say, oh man, I forgot it or whatever. While I was on the West Coast, I wanted to get his attention to let him know, hey, all right, cool. I'm available. I'm going to be over in your city. Let's do it in person. So I said, yes, I did send a super chat.
Gotcha. I was just trying to see how it manifested because I was watching it and then he said, yeah, I've been wanting to talk to you. So that did happen. I seen that in real time.
Yeah, he had been trying to get in touch with me and he had sent some people to get in touch with me. And then he I sent the super chat and I was like, check your DMs and then we set it up.
For sure.
Hey, Anton, I only want to talk about the Corey situation. I want to ask you a real question because you say you want to start. You can answer some questions.
Yeah,
so I do want to
ask me whatever you want.
All right, cool. I do want to bring up one of the topics about the vote that y'all was talking about, right? Because you ain't get to finish, elaborating on that situation because he kind of cut you off. So I just wanted to ask you to kind of elaborate more on that because I kind of disagree with what you said, but you ain't get to finish, so I don't want to, just assume on what your complete thought was.
Yeah. What, on the voting?
Yeah, on voting matters or not mattering.
I think that we fail the test more than any other community when it comes to engaging in politics and letting everybody else tell us how we should vote. I think that voting on a local level is the most important thing that you can do. I think that participating in local politics when it comes to your city, your millages, where your money goes, your community, your mayor, your city councilman, your alderman, and even finding out exactly who your congressperson is and letting them know and communicating with them and letting them know exactly what you want them to do when they start to advocate for things that is pushed inside of the bill because they do have say-so, right? When you see a lot of these Congress people, because the Congress controls the purse strings of the United States of America. That's their number one job above anything. Everything else is performative, right? So when they go through, when you see, for example, some of these Republicans and you'll say, well, wait a minute, the Republican Party control all three branches of government, right? And why is it Republicans that's holding out? It's because there are people that are demanding things from them in their district that's saying, listen, unless this is in the bill or unless this is there, or unless we get some, more dollars for this inside of our community to do this, that, and so on and so forth, then we're going to hold you accountable as the congressperson that represents us. And so when you start to look at what's happening in Chicago today, right? They voted at a less than 20% turnout rate for Lori Lightfoot and then Brandon Johnson right after that. And the reason that they got them in was because of diversity, equity, and inclusion and because she was the first female gay mayor. That's a horrible reason to get a person in. Chicago, a place that has sold its streets. They don't even own their own streets. They got to rent their streets out in order to do a parade. For a place that don't even own their own streets, that got rid of shot spots, that is lowering the amount of public safety officers, and then they're giving all of the money over to illegal migrants, which Brandon Johnson said that he was going to do that way before he ever got elected into office. And he said that he stood against continuing to fund public safety, which is one of the reasons why he got rid of ShotSpotter. And if you actually have a conversation with a lot of the police officers, which I know a lot of them that's in Chicago, the morale is low. They have been basically nerfed. They can't do anything, right? So they can be enabled against their own people, right? YNs, but they can't be enabled to get these people out of there when they was occupying some of their apartment buildings as Venezuelans and illegal migrants. They literally spent over $1 billion in Chicago on illegal migrants. That is a direct reflection of the community deciding who they wanted to from their aldermen, because Chicago has aldermen and some state and city council people. That is a direct reflection, and you can determine exactly where your money goes. You can determine every single thing. Some of these cities that are the most deserted and destroyed are some of the blackest cities inside of the United States of America.
So I agree with like
I actually have conversations with aldermen inside of Chicago. I have them on my show.
Yeah, I'm keen. Listen, listen. I know the Turners. Like the Turners is the alderman where I'm from. I'm from the North Lawndale area. So what I'm saying is, like, a lot of what you're saying is true.
All right. I'm gonna just end it there because I know it's gonna be a little bit more of a conversation, and I'm gonna just watch the rest myself and see what's going on. But I think that covers up everything, and there's more videos out there. So I'm gonna leave the original video below, and shout out to illasophical. Check out her channel. That's where the actual video is at. So I'm gonna put that in the comments below. And yeah, thanks for watching.